choke to the first position now. Everyone needs a cold breath.
You are watching the Iron Ridge Reserve YouTube channel.
When I picked this bike up nearly 6 months ago, it was in serious distress. It was one of the cheapest bikes in all of Texas. Lo and behold, I found it in Austin, Texas, listed on Facebook Marketplace for $700. I was on a business trip, but figured, hey, I'm here, the bike is here. So I met the seller, and it was in a lot worse shape than when I had seen it on the listing. You know how they are with the creative photos, blurry images, only taking it from a certain angle, right? I went and saw it, and it was in rough shape. So after some haggling back and forth, I got it for $600. Now this has been a great bike for the family. We went ahead and put new bars on it, new plastics, new stickers, some other fun things on it to get it really top-notch, looking great. This is a 2007, and one of the great things about these Honda 50s, they haven't changed much. And so these bikes, you can get for a fairly good price compared to a new one where they're upwards of $2,000 with some add-ons and different things like that. Now, after we got this bike going, unfortunately, there's been some issues with it. And that's what the video is about today. After upgrading this bike with some few selected parts, there wasn't a lot of support online. And so after going back and forth in forums and guessing, I was left stuck. What do? Do I continue to guess? Do I continue to go on the forums? And ultimately, I reached out to FMF Exhaust and getting me the exact specs we needed for this bike. So you may be familiar, a lot of bikes and manufacturers, they'll have recommended specs for the bikes once you get them going. Now, unfortunately, FMF Exhaust's website, their user interface has been down for some time, and so I was left flying blind. Most folks on the forum said, hey, just go ahead, put in a bigger jet, based on my elevation, you'll be fine. And that's okay, but I like knowing the exact specifications so the bike is running absolutely perfect. And what was odd, there were no recommendations from FMF. So this little bike, despite all the changes we've made to it and things like that, requires no modification. And so having done that, now I'm left with a bike with a larger jet than I would have previously wanted. What we're gonna do on this video is go ahead and retune this. We're gonna remove the carb and bring it to both Honda and FMF's manufacturer recommendations, which is leave it stock. And so they said, leave the stock jetting, leave it exactly where it's at, and you'll be just fine. Just mess with the idle and this fuel screw, and you're set to go. So that's what we're gonna do today. Nothing at all. We're gonna go right back to OEM specs and get this bike rolling just as it should, according to Honda and FMF. So one of the things you can do here is just go ahead and empty the bowl with this right here. Okay, so there wasn't much fuel in there. It hasn't been ridden for a while. So we'll go ahead and open up the bottom bowl and get access to the jetting. Okay, so you'll want to remove the bottom of the bowl. If you're using a electric drill or screwdriver, no need to give it too many ugga-duggas or anything else like that, because hand tied is just fine for this. So you're taking it off, just go slow. All right, set those aside. Now we have access. So right here, as you can see, that is the jet that we need to take out. That is also the new one that we put in based on the forum's recommendation. But let's see if this is the right size. A little big. So we're gonna come back and grab maybe a smaller flathead. We'll be right back. So we got a smaller flathead and we'll just take this out. And if you are looking to rebuild your carburetor, now would be the time to just go through and do a check. I have looked at this prior. Everything is clear, we're set, other than this right here. Now, one thing you can do is if your bike is not running well, you can go ahead and look through. And if you can see right through there pretty good, then you probably have another issue. But this would be a good time to clean your jetting if you needed to. Let's see if you can see through this one. All right. And this one is clean. I cleaned it before we got here. Hand tight is fine. And we'll go ahead and reassemble the bowl. Again, gentle in doing so. And again, you don't need to ugga-dugga these down. You can just go light. Hand tight is fine, so if you're using a power tool, just go light. And always best to do one or the other hand tight first before you snug it down. Get right there. Come back to the other one here, now tighten both down. Again, hand tight, nothing crazy. Here we go. So now we're set with new jetting, and we'll go ahead and get it installed. So first thing you can do is get the fuel line back connected. Get that didn't pop back over the clip. Keep time to it now. You can also get your throttle cable, get that in, watch for the guides. Sometimes you need to twist it a little bit, get it right in the grooves, twist and hand tighten that. Again, hand tight, nothing crazy. So once you have it here, you can do just a preliminary throttle twist just to make sure that everything's moving right before you kind of do any final install. At this point, we're ready to get it back. You could test the choke if you wanted to here, if you're having issues with that. We'll go ahead and set it up because we're about to start it. Again, hand tight both sides down first till they're in there, and then you can come back and give a couple ugga-duggas. But nothing too crazy. Hand tight is still all right. Even if I plan to get something messy or not, I always just put something down just in case. All right, choke's on. Turn the fuel on now. Since we're at a lower jet, we're gonna have to likely retune this. And what we're not gonna do on camera is get it all the way up to operating temperature. So we'll just do a quick tune cold. And then once we ride it here later today, we'll go ahead and recheck and idle the bike down and get everything tuned, okay? Run. Choke to the first position now. Everyone needs a cold breath. here for now. Said it's warming up, so it'll idle down, and then we'll test out, turn it off the choke, and then we'll go ahead and just readjust any fuel and air ratios that we might need to on the carb there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what other content would you like to see on the channel, any particular modifications you'd like to see, anything related to this bike or other builds on the channel. So I'll be posting weekly, usually long form once a week, and then I'll be doing a few short forms and shorts and things on our YouTube channel and Instagram, both at Iron Ridge Reserve. And I'd love to hear from you to see what content you enjoy. If you'd like more detail on something, I'd love to hear that too in the comments down below. So let me know down below, what did you like, what did you enjoy, what would you like to see in more detail, and I'll be happy to share that with you. If you like the content and everything you've seen so far on the channel, the best way to support is hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment down below. We're doing lots of rebuilds, dirt bikes, cars, and hopefully a shop rebuild here really soon. So we look forward to taking you along